downsides of operations going wrong for enterprises, they have parallels in some ways to losing valuable seconds, pit stop issues, engine failures, even driver errors, and do you have lessons that you could share with organizations about the balance of beating the competition with firefighting and, diagnosing problems before they can move forward?
Yeah. Well, what we do is not easy. And I think that's the same for all of us in business. Whatever you're good at doing, whatever your business excels at, if it was easy, there'd be lots of people doing it. So it's actually really important to take a step back and say, this is challenging. What we're doing is not easy. And that's why it's so satisfying to do it and to do it well. And from a Formula One perspective, we very often talk about the fact that a Formula One team as an engineering company is essentially involved in continuously problem solving. So we are problem solving. And when something goes wrong in a pit stop or there's an engine failure, as you mentioned, we don't see that as a catastrophe. We see it as a problem to be solved. What went wrong? What can we learn from it? How can we improve next time and avoid that the repetition of that failure? We are obsessed with continuous improvement in Formula One. So we're constantly on a cycle of analysis, of implementing improvements, of deploying those changes, of then going out and performing better. And when people say to me, for example, what makes the great world champions like a Lewis Hamilton or a Michael Schumacher or an Ayrton Senna, as individuals, they are obsessed with continuously improving their performance. And each time they make a mistake, they set out to make sure they never repeat that mistake. So they perfect their performance over time. Well, of course, that's what we as a team are then doing. We're trying to perfect our performance over time. So the problem solving and the fact that it's difficult and the fact that there will be curved balls, things will inevitably go wrong, that in the heat of battle, there might be human error, there may be an unexpected technical issue arise. And if it's unexpected, we need to then learn, why was that unexpected? What went wrong in our assumptions? Was there, where have our calculations not been correct? When it comes to firefighting, now we've got an altogether different scenario, because if we find ourselves firefighting, we know we've gone fundamentally wrong, because this is not problem solving. This is constant surprises coming over the horizon. We then have to really dig deep to find out why when we are all quite literally sitting around a table on the morning of a Grand Prix saying everything's fine, we know what the plan is for today, why did it then go completely wrong? What aspect of our planning was so wrong that we ended up firefighting? And I have experienced that during my career, and inevitably the firefighting arises from people not perhaps being open and honest about where we really are at. So there's a journey of hope rather than a journey of knowledge, and this is why again we become so there's lots of things we're obsessed about. Another thing is data. So another reason we're obsessed with data is that the truth is in the data. So when everyone's sitting around the table saying we're fine, it's all going to be perfect, and the data tells us that that is not the case, that there are clearly anomalies, there are things that are not working quite right, then we know that we've got a cultural issue. People are not facing up to the realities of where we're at. So really, problem solving, bring it on. That's what we do. We love solving technical problems. We love getting to a better place. Firefighting, absolutely to be avoided. And if it happens, we know that there's usually a much deeper problem than just the issue that we're facing.